So, as far as how we did yesterday, how I did yesterday, the trade, ended up playing out in my favor and actually continued to make its move higher, right? Um, had I maybe held, had I maybe held more than one contract, I probably would have taken profit out here for one, kept my stop at break even and let this continue to move higher. Um, Knowing myself where I probably would have tried to take profit on this trade would probably, but just looking here, probably at the low here, which we did manage to, actually we didn't hit that. This low here. Um, it's just another key level where price had some form of movement. So just by the looks of it, right, it's probably where I would have, so I'd still be in that trade. So currently the count is at 50K. We did manage to make $700 off of that last trade, so not bad. All right, let's take a look for some other for some other sort of trade. We take a look here. We have silver longs, ES shorts, long term. We still have to wait for that to build up. Don't really want to enter anything like that now. I can pull up Weeble real quick, but as I thought it would, right? A very sharp V shape recovery. This could actually get overnight into some zone where I would ideally like to look for shorts, but not just yet. We take a look at some like Season X. Yeah, we can see that we might want to give a little bit more time for this trade to develop beforehand before we jump into that trade. But I am looking for shorts. I am looking to continue towards the downside. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this tonight now, but yeah, I'm gonna give ES a little bit more time to develop and look for shorts there long term. Crude oil, no buys, stay away. Copper, no buys. British pound. So we can take a look at British pound. We'll probably take a look at everything else to see if anything has changed. Don't really think that anything changed, but I have a bearish outlook on the British pound. Um, let's see how that developed, right? So I think I started to look at the price action somewhere around here. And I told myself that I would like to enter ideally anywhere in this area. So if I were to have gotten into this trade, I probably would have entered. I would have been entered in this section over here. Still no stop loss hit, 2.92 risk reward. Ideally, I just don't think that the British pound is going to make that move upwards. I don't have the most um, fundamental based outlook or approach going at this, but it's just my outlook from me viewing the chart, right? I don't think that this is what we think it is. So if I were to take a trade here, what are we on here? We're on the 30 minute. So I'm gonna take a look at I'm gonna start on the daily. So from what I'm looking at, this is a high, right? And we're starting to make this move downwards. So this actually doesn't look like a bad setup. What happened here? Oh, I moved this. All right. So what I want to do here for me to enter on this, I want to keep looking at every time frame, the 30. So all of this liquidity here was swept. This liquidity buildup here was swept, right? We had this liquidity swept. We have this swept here. We had that decline. So somewhere in this area here, ideally, I think is where I want to see some form of development and I want to enter on this trade. So I'm going to see how this area here develops and try to enter on this. Ideally, this would have looked like something good, in my opinion, somewhere around this area to enter. But obviously I'm not entered, so I'm not just gonna jump into something I think is possibly left for me. Take a look at the 15, see what else we see. So what I like to do, I know it's not really the best thing to do, but I just like to look at the market in different scenarios, how different people might approach it. Um, uh, all right. So I think what this was a lot easier to just do it this way. I'm pretty sure it was here at the lows, my take profit. So it was something like this here. But anyways, so yeah, the British pound shorts. Take a look at a smaller time frame, something like the 1 minute time frame. This just very choppy. Has been in this range for quite some time now, right? Somewhere in this area here, waiting for some sort of key breakout. Um, this thing moving? Okay, it's moving. Yeah, so ideally what I would like to see is one last, which we had here, right? We had this liquidity swept. But this is a trade I'm looking for. I'm not gonna rush it. Just gonna let it develop, see how it turns out. The British pound. Um, let's take a look at other stuff while we're at it. Let's take a look at something like platinum. Have I gone over platinum? I think I haven't gone over platinum, so it'd be a good one to go over. Platinum, platinum. See how platinum looks on the daily time frame. Okay. Ooh, okay. Um, platinum, platinum. I mean, so what? 2021, this has just been chopping, like, been in this range for so long. It finally came out. This might be a good time to get into this trade, believe it or not. So, what I like about this trade, we have this, right? We have this trending price action for like years now, right? We have a sort of breakout here. We have a retest coming down, some form of retest. I think this, just looking at this, okay, so retest. Let me take a look, just fib retracement, see what we see from the fib retracement. We have a 0.382 fib retracement, very bullish. Could even say 0.5. I think that's a good time for me, especially on the daily time frame. Ideally, I don't like, so this little gap here possibly filled. I don't like that this is starting to look a little uh, bearish. Might continue a downwards trend before making another move up. Ideally, something like, sorry, let me see if I can find something. So like, it's just there no. All right. So never mind that. But I would like to see maybe a chop, develop price action, and then a sort of developing price action for making a next leg up. I do think that this was some form of distribution. A lower low here, one here. This ideally looks like a, I know this is kind of scary, but it's looking like a developing long-term trend. But let's keep an eye on it. Some platinum. I think I'm gonna go long-term bullish. And then we'll just keep a look on this and see how everything sort of develops. So I just want to take a look on smaller time frames, see if I can see anything. Um, I can tell me otherwise. I do like this. Don't like that it failed. Made another leg higher. So rejected here, rejected in this area. Um, I think what's going on here is this is a, it's just going to continue to sell that bearish narrative and continue to give bearish setups and continue to like in this occasion here, we had this one, right? And you had this lower low, and then it just, you just got bought up, right? So I think that people are going to be buying here. Um, People are going to be selling in here, thinking that, okay, maybe this is a one, and just continue to rip higher. So, um, ideally, some area. So this just kind of keep this area red, some sort of selling um, action here. I do like this here. Now, if I would look for places to enter, especially on something like this, ideally, I would look for, so maybe like here, here. We could even make a lower low here. Ideally, this is like that gold area where I think most of my risk would be minimized, right? Buying in this area here, where if we did get something like, if we did get something sort of like this and then we bounced up, I think that would be the best setup in my opinion, or at least the best risk to reward. Um, right? You have something like this would be a good setup, but patience. It's on the 1 hour. Take a look at the 15. See if we can see anything sort of develop. Price action here isn't really, the price action here isn't, I can sort of sometimes see something and know that things are looking good, and this just straight off the bat, just looking at it, it's not giving me those signals, so I would just stay away for the meantime, but definitely something to keep my eye on. Right, this is going to be tricky for me to allow something like this to happen and to not get sold one of these reversals. So, and ideally, this is what I am looking for. Let's take a look at so platinum, British pound, see how everything else is forming. Sorry, I want to take a look at something real quick. Wow. Okay. Anyways, we'll take a look at here. Go back to British pound. The 30 minute. This just looks far too difficult for me to get into as of right now. It looks like it's due for some sort of retracement. Ideally, maybe one more tap into this area here before I even consider taking that trade towards the downside. So I think possibly for today, what 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 might be of today would just be looking for potential future trades because as of the moment, the British pound, see if we can find anything in copper. I think I've already talked about copper. I actually took a trade on copper on a different account here um, a while ago. Um, had I kept holding, we wouldn't really be far. But you take a look at the daily. See, copper is tricky. I can't say that I can look at whatever this is and form any form of bias, right? Because this could be just a V-shaped recovery. But and also, I mean, this is stalling, but I'm not going to be sold. I'm not sold on the idea that this is just going to continue to have a slow trend upwards, because it can easily, if anything, I'd probably think this would continue down. Just this here, but can't really form. So, do I have that yet on my notes? Probably be something that I do. So, no bias, right? Just stay away. It's a good analysis on my end. Learning when to stay away from a trade. Um, so copper, stay away. Let's see if we can see. Let's take a look at natural gas. Again, nope. Never mind. Natural gas, natural gas. This could be continuing downwards, but again, I think this might be not enough price action to make any sort of sound um analysis. So natural gas, I also want to label it a natural gas, um, no bias as well. It's too difficult on my end to try to read. Don't want to try to do it. So, uh, perhaps something else like, let's take a look at gold. How is gold doing? Oh wow, look at that. So is gold gonna break out here? I know gold has been ripping for so long now. You would think that it's finally going to make the move downwards, but I think there has to be some form of a move up, um, no matter what, right? I think this is just because I can't see the rest of this like trend here, but 2021, we've sort of just been developing here for about 3 years before we finally started to make a move higher. We've chopped, you know.
Not too short. I are. I do one out run like know which one we choose.
Sorry, so we chopped. I think what's happening again is we're stalling here. We look at the daily time frame and we sort of just come into this area here. This looks sort of bullish. So let's be mindful that we are starting to make that move above this rising wedge. I do like this here, the fact that we got bought up. I think that this here is a good area to be expecting a big move soon because, and I'll tell you why, this here, this range here is very telling, right? Is very telling. This price action here is consolidating, so we should be expecting either a move up or down here soon. By the looks of it, We could potentially be making a move up. We did take out some lows here and here. We did fail to continue down here. So I think maybe we could see some sort of retracement before making another move up. Just because if we're mindful of where we are positioned on this wedge and the amount of people who are positioning themselves for the long play here, some sort of retracement here would be ideal. But I am long-term bullish on gold. So taking a look at this here, maybe drop down to a 30-minute time frame. We can see this is a good sign here. I like that. We did make a move higher here. Ideally, what I think might happen is some sort of consolidation before continuing the trend upwards. So short term, possibly bearish, long term, bullish. I think maybe to take a trade today, I might look for a short term trade here. This does look like so this actually does look like it's getting ready to make a move higher. Ideally, what I would like to wait for is a almost similar setup to what I took on silver, but this one is a little convincing. I just so did this one, and but just to be on the safer side, I think ideally I would like to look for some sort of retracement into this area, which we did have. On a 1 minute time frame. So now while I just wait for this trade to develop, um, I don't want to be glued to the chart waiting, and I don't want to get sold by something. So I'm gonna probably distract myself. I don't know if you guys play any sort of video games. I play FIFA. I don't know if you guys play anything, but find it sort of easy to let a trade develop. especially when I'm like playing a game or something. So, anyways, I'm looking for something here, right, to develop. All this liquidity is continuing to build up. So gold, right? Going to keep my notepad relatively close, probably on one of my other screens in order to just keep myself mindful of things that I am looking for. Something like ES, I don't think that I will be on the charts when ES begins to develop as far as a short trade. I think it might be a little too early to continue to look for that push downwards, but yes, something to look for. Gold. Gold, natural gas, platinum, long-term bullish, British pound, bearish, no bias, no bias. So, again, like I said, let me see if I can find some perfect place to enter. Start by looking at the 30 minutes, right? I do like that this is beginning to consolidate here at this area. Um, 13 minutes, so we can wait 13 minutes from now and wait for a close. I think we can begin to look for a trade idea. So we can continue to consolidate. Maybe have one push downwards, ideally to 342 area. So down in this area, and then probably take some trade. Ideally, something like this is what I would be looking for. If we can tap down into the zone, I would like for this candle to close here, continue to open up a 30-minute, come down here, tap in over here somewhere, grab all this liquidity here, and then make the next move up. But if we don't manage to get any of that, then I think as far as today, the point of today will just be to look for these potential trade setups and know what to look out for a different day. British pound, as British pound began to develop. Nope, like I said, I would like to see retracement in this area. We haven't seen anything like that. Bearish, platinum, nothing. Ideally, I do not want to enter. Although I know I want to go long, I'm not willing to risk this much in order to make the and gold.
With taste of a mid-century makeover at Ashley. From rich, solid wood to velvet-like texture, you can find timeless styles with a modern twist for every room. It's time to get retro with Ashley. shop in store and online.
Same old phone? Nah. Upgrade to the new Galaxy Z Fold 7.
So ideally, I would like to see where we end off in this area here. So here. And then we'll just go from there. 13 minutes. Don't know how long this video has been already, but this is a telling sign of where we are likely to potentially move and how I would like to position myself. Every low has been swept. Maybe one last low before we make any sort of movement here. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and end it here, but as far as I want to wait it out, but 13 minutes. I think this video has already been going on for far too long. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end it here. We'll take a look at tomorrow and how these trades played out. Um, no need to rush anything, so we'll take a look at everything tomorrow. No trades placed today, so